my grandmother raised my sister and I a good portion of our school year. So we spent a lot of time with Nana Brown, and I will forever love that woman. She was feisty. She was an awesome storyteller. She was brilliant. And then it took me to become an adult to understand and to see what she actually accomplished, being a woman who was a sharecropper who grew up in Belcher, Louisiana, just outside of Shreveport. And to hear her stories and then be able to tie it all together once you become an adult and you read some history, the history that she didn't want to repeat, but would
Right.
just, talk about every so often, then it's like, oh, I get it. So this is a woman who worked as a domestic for many years. Then she made the migration out of the South into the West, into Los Angeles. And I think she worked at a bottle company for a minute, putting the metal caps on bottles for a minute. And then in her 40s, this woman decided she wanted to go back to school and become a nurse.
Wow.
And
Wow.
so she became a CV, I think it's a CVN or LVN. I'm not sure the title, but I have her graduation pin. But I marvel at the wonderful ancestry that I come from. This is an amazing woman. And I got to see her. I saw her. She had lifelong relationships. And so those are the things that are important to me because I saw them. I saw my grandmother emulate them.
Hmm.
And so we spent a lot of time with Nana Brown. So that meant you watched Young and the Restless. That's a soap opera here in the States. And
Yep.
then you watched The Price is Right. There
Hmm.
was this continuum, how
Yep. The
TV worked.
constant daytime TV.
Yes,
Yep.
that's what we did. That's what we did when there wasn't school or summer vacations, and we were with Nana. That's what you did. That's how you spent your day. And so that was childhood. That was a safe space for me. And I didn't always appreciate who my Nana was. And again, it took me to become an adult and realize why she did some of the things she did, some of the conversations we had. Like Nana told me, she was like, "Be independent. You don't need a man."
Hmm.
It's like, Nana, I was in love. I was like, "What are you talking? I don't, what do you mean?"
That was so out of the box at the time.
Yes,
Yep.
it was. Yes, it was. And so I appreciate the mindset or the understanding that she had. She may not have conveyed all of it, just gave you the snippet. So I grew up with a very strong grandmother and love her dearly still to this day. Then I have another grandmother, my paternal grandmother. She was my protector. So I have I had aunts and I had my father who loved to antagonize me. That's the best way I can put it. They would say that it was just poking fun or we're just playing with you, girl, and why are you doing all that crying? But I was very sensitive as a kid. I was that sensitive, cried at the drop of a hat, just very sensitive. And instead of my father being my protector and protecting me from all we would call it bullying, but they call it, we're just playing with you. But
Right.
they got great pleasure out of watching me cry. So
Mm.
my grandmother, she was a large woman. She would grab me, she would scoop me up in her arms and tell them it's like, y'all leave my baby alone. And I love that woman to this day as well. That's my grandma Betty. And so I grew up with two very remarkable women in my lives, and they led very different lives, different approaches to life. And so I had the benefit of both of these fantastic women to kind of nurture me and guide me into the woman that I am today.